Alex, when I was preparing for the speech, I guess all of the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes, but I went into the Competent Communicator to check, to make sure I have the timing. And sure enough, it said 5 to 7 minutes. So I said to myself, darn, I can't do anything, I'm long-winded, I can't do anything in 5 to 7 minutes, except my wife. 5 to 7 times. But half of that's recovery time. And if she were here right now, she'd accuse me of some serious audacity. And in a serious note, though, when people ask me, Jeff, what do you do for a living?
What do you do for a living, Jeff?
What I love to say is that I wake up every day and I figure out how I'm going to deserve my wife and kids. And I like to joke around, I like to be entertaining, but this is pretty serious. The first time that I kissed Mary Ann was November 19th, 1991.
What's your wife's name?
Mary Ann. Thank you, Jerry. I get more time for that. And the thing about it was that I was 19, she was 18. We were very young, but we smelled very good to each other. We couldn't keep our hands off each other. We didn't really leave the bedroom for the first 6 months we were dating. And it was great. And honestly, it was. And the problem is, well, hang on a second. No, today is not really about my sex life. I know that you all want to hear more. It's really about my love life, because Mary Ann is the love of my life, and as Alex pointed out, today, over 21 years later, woo, we have 3 kids. Ow. Now, thank you. What's serious? Thank you. There you go. Okay. What's serious about this is that we were young and we were careless, and the personal stories that we share, I'm going to share one right now. We got pregnant, and it wasn't expected, it wasn't intended, we didn't want to. And it was her choice. What do we do? And I was 19, she was 18, I was in my 2nd year of college, she was in her 1st year of college, and our lives were on the line right here. This is a major decision that we had to make. And I would have supported anything that she wanted to do, and she was adamant. We have to abort, can't tell my parents, no way. And that was a major deal in our lives. And so we stayed together. And I can close my eyes right now because it was on my birthday, April 8th, 1992, the day I turned 20 years old, where we had the abortion. And Mary Ann came walking out of the room, and every time I closed my eyes, I could see that look on her face. And I knew one way or the other I'd be married to this decision and this event for the rest of my life. But we stayed together, and we grew up, and we grew codependent. We had good times. It was college years, so it was fun. But underneath it all, we were hurting. And we were in trouble. If we stayed together out of dependency and out of fear and all of the negative things, we were just headed for divorce. So by the time 1998 rolled around, I realized that because of the patterns of fighting and because of the bickering that we kept on getting into, there was resentment and blame, and we hadn't done anything individually for ourselves. We grew together, and I took the risk of initiating a break. At the risk of losing her, I said the only way, I felt very clearly, like crystal ball clarity, that the only other way that we could be happily ever after together, happily ever after, is if we actually severed first, built up our own individuality, and then came back together for the right reasons. Now, this is a major risk, because anything could have happened. You know, she's a very smart, intelligent, capable, amazing woman, and some people have said some nice things about me too. So either of us could have been picked up by somebody else. And that road trip that I took, that I gave my first speech about, that was when I was soul searching, and that was during the 15 months that Mary Ann and I were apart. And I was miserable, and I had to actually leave town and just drive and think and drive and think. Of course, I did a lot of alcohol in baseball stadiums, so I had fun, but miserable underneath. So fast forward, when I got back from my trip, I knew that love was what I wanted, and I pursued Mary Ann first, and she wasn't ready because she didn't initiate the break. She's like, oh, I'm supposed to just come running back to you? I'm like, no, you're supposed to make me work for it. And so finally, we on September 15th, 2011, 4 days after the attacks, we got married. And I've taken up all the time, most of my time with my intro here, because it's so much fun to talk about this story. But I'm going to take you through, so here, this speech is about the love of my life. So this is the picture of me proposing to Mary Ann on September 15th, 2000. Then we got married a year later, 2001. And we made it right. We've got these beautiful kids, and now more recently we've got Brody here. So I wanted to talk to you about my family. I wanted to tell you about AJ. I wanted to tell you about Abigail. I wanted to tell you about Brody. So let me do that because I'm running out of time. First of all, AJ. He's a stud. He's my best friend, and you should see him play sports. He once made an unassisted double play in T-ball. Catch him out, tag him out, unassisted double play in T-ball, if you know what that's all about. He also more recently, and quarterback of his flag football team. He played 3 years of flag football, and he's finally quarterback. This is, I don't know if you can tell, but the goal line is right here, and it's an 80-yard field in flag. So this is a 65-yard touchdown run that you're looking at. And I took all these pictures, proud papa. But as awesome as he is in sports and everything, he's also well-rounded. He could sit behind the drums. He could play beer pong with people at Charger games. And if any EOers were here, you might recognize Carrie. Ran into him at a Padres game. But adults, men and women of all kinds, love hanging out with AJ. He's just got this presence, this personality. He's awesome at school. His teachers love him. He's got friends. He's part of a juniors Lego club. So he's super well-rounded with the sports and the math and engineering mind. And I could go on and on and on about AJ. But it's time for me to tell you a little bit about Abigail. Abigail is the original, as a matter of fact, she's so beautiful, we want to see her a little more clearly if you don't mind. She's the original Kukuluku. AJ, is it okay if I leave the lights down for these pictures, you guys? Thank you. Thank you very much. And she's the original Kukuluku. AJ's serious, right? But Abigail's the performer, she's all over the place. As a matter of fact, I remember one time we were doing the ultrasound before she came out, and Abigail was swimming figure eights in Marianne's tummy, and the woman doing the ultrasound, it was like she was playing ice hockey or air hockey on Marianne's tummy trying to keep up with Abigail. So all mischief under our roof leads back to Abigail. An interesting thing that's happening right now is I actually go on more dates and do more stuff with Abigail than my wife. Right? So this is us doing father-daughter dancing, and for her most recent birthday, when she was asleep at night, we filled up her room with balloons, so when she woke up in the morning, it was a balloon party right there. But like I said, she's mischievous, so this is Abigail. Abigail, what are you doing? Huh? Daddy, knees buckle, and it's over, right? So, now that I've told you about Abigail, let me tell you about Brody, because I'm running out of time. Brody had a rough start. Brody, you know, there's a 5-year spread, and I've got a 30-second timer here. But Brody spent 2 days in the ICU, but he's completely healthy now, and he's a blessing. When we got pregnant with Abigail, we pulled the goalie, had an extra skater on the ice, and we never put the goalie back. So Brody wasn't like a, uh-oh, it was kind of like a, oh, really? and he's the love of my life, just like all of my kids are, just like all of you are. I wish I could go on and tell you more about my family, but it's time for me to wrap up. Today I talked to you about Marianne, AJ, Abigail, and Brody. And I want each and every one of you to help me be a better and better and better dad. If you have any tips on parenting, please approach me. Let me know how I can be a better dad. Hopefully you enjoyed my speech. Thank you so much.